This presentation will explain the basic game pieces and play of the board game QB8. First, a little QB8 history. QB8 has been around since April of 2013. That's when it made its public debut at the 56th Annual Minnesota Inventors Congress competition. No toy or game had ever won this competition until QB8 did that year. It is the only toy or game to ever win this competition. This is one of the 48 main game pieces in QB8. I applied for and was awarded a design patent from the U.S. Patent Office for this game piece. While it's difficult to see all the game pieces in this picture, this is what the table would look like at the start of each new game. All the cubes face down in the center of the table, next to the tray that holds 6 cubes face up at a time, and the deck of 48 cards and 5 dice. Also note that each player position also has 1 cube in their possession to start the game. This is a closer picture of the game pieces on the table. The goal of each turn is to obtain 1 cube, either one of the 6 cubes in the tray or 1 cube from another player. More about how to accomplish one of these later. Also, at the end of each turn, you may discube or get rid of any cube in your possession that you no longer want. The goal of the whole game is to be the first player to possess exactly 8 cubes, where there are 2 cubes of each of all 4 colors, and when you add all 8 numbers together, you have a total of exactly 28 points. You need to constantly balance your cube possession by obtaining cubes and getting rid of cubes. Here's how you obtain a cube. The easiest way is to take one of the 6 cards in your hand that matches both the color and number of a cube in the tray, place it face up in front of you, and then take possession of the matching cube. You then select a cube from the face down cubes and place it face up in the tray to replace the one you took, so the next player has 6 cubes to choose from. If you have a card that matches the color and number of a cube in the tray but do not want that cube for any reason, or if you do not have a card that matches the color and number of a cube in the tray, then you must roll all 5 dice. In this picture, you will notice that the only card in your hand that matches a cube in the tray is a blue 2. Notice in your row of cubes you already have 3 blue cubes, and you can only have 2 of each color to win, so why would you want 4 blue cubes? In this case, you may, but don't have to, roll the dice. When you roll the dice, you roll all 5. Then you have to do what the white die requires you to do first. Then, if the 4 colored dice are in play, you may play off one of those. Here is a detailed explanation of the white die and its requirements. If, when you roll the dice, one of the 3 blank sides on the white die comes up, you are not required to do anything with the white die, and the 4 colored dice are in play. More on that later. On a 4th side of the white die is the word put. This means that you must take one of your cubes and place it face down back in the pool of face down cubes next to the tray. Remember, the goal of each turn is to try to obtain 1 cube. Because you have not yet obtained a cube, the 4 colored dice are in play. More on that later. On a 5th side of the white die is the word take. This means that you take a cube from another player. It's a blind draw. You simply tell the player you are taking from to give you a specific cube in their possession. Because you obtained a cube, the colored dice are not in play on this turn. The 6th side of the white die contains the word wild. This means that you can take any cube you want out of the tray. Because you obtained a cube, the colored dice are not in play on this turn. If you rolled a blank or a put on the white die, then you will have the opportunity to compare all 4 colored dice with cubes in the tray. If any cube or cubes match both the color and the number on one or more of the colored dice, you must take a matching cube. You may only take 1 cube. If more than 1 cube matches the colored die, then you must choose which one of the matching cubes you want. If you take a cube out of the tray during your turn, you must replace that cube by selecting one of the face-down cubes and placing it face-up in the tray. This picture demonstrates that the green die has a number 4 on it and there is a green 4 cube in the tray. Since this is the only matching cube with the dice, you must take the green 4 cube. Remember, if you don't want to keep it, you can discube any unwanted cube at the end of every turn. I'll remind you that this is a sample of a winning combination of cubes. There are exactly 8 cubes. There are 2 cubes of each color, and when you add all 8 numbers on these cubes, they total 28. In closing, I want to say I self-produced QB8 in 2016. I made 1,500 copies and have sold about 1,000 of them. In talking to people who have bought copies and with people who I have demonstrated this game to, it seems that a fair number of people have trouble with comparing the colored dice with the cubes in the tray. So recently, I have designed and had 3D printed some new dice. They are pictured here. They look exactly like the circle with the number as pictured on both the cards and the cubes. So should QB8 become licensed and produced, it is highly recommended that custom colored dice be produced like those pictured here. QB8 Words is a spin-off from QB8, which was just explained in detail. The game mechanics of QB8 Words are exactly like those of QB8. The difference is that QB8 Words uses letters instead of numbers, and the goal is to get exactly 8 cubes, where there are 2 cubes of each of the 4 colors, and you can either make one 8-letter word, one 5 and one 3-letter word, or 2 4-letter words. In QB8, there are 2 cubes of every number and color. For example, there are 2 red 4s and 2 green 3s. In QB8 Words, however, there is only 1 letter in each of the 4 colors. Because of this fact, 2 dice of each color are required in order to represent all 8 letters of each color. This picture shows all the cubes, tray, deck of cards, and all 9 dice. As in QB8, the colored dice seem to have created an issue for a reasonable number of players. So I designed and then 3D printed a set of dice that look exactly like the cards and cubes. I strongly recommend that should this game go into production, the dice need to look like those in this picture.